season has come down to this. This is it. For all the marbles, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We're at Toyota Center in downtown Houston. Tonight, it's the Houston Rockets taking on the Boston Celtics. And welcome, I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, you look at the Rockets coming into play. They know what's at stake. This is it. One game to decide the NBA Finals.
Well, here we are. This is what you dream about. A Game 7, a one-game series for the NBA championship. This has been one heck of a thrilling ride so far. I'm just so grateful to be here courtside to watch this happen in front of my own eyes. This has really been a dream come true.
Rockets with 4 to shoot. Paul, his first effort off the mark. Kyrie across the timeline, just getting started. Strap in for a good one here in Game 7. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. And count the basket inside. Simply put, when the ball's in Kyrie Irving's hands, magic could happen.
It's poetry in motion, and it's a situation in which the ball is attached to his body. He has it on a yo-yo. He can put the ball and dangle the ball out there for other people to think they have a chance, and in their mind they do, but in Kyrie's mind, the game is over.
A drive baseline, but the shot won't go.
Ed, the game is so different. In today's NBA, defenders are longer, quicker, and more athletic than we've ever seen before. So offensively, as a shooter, you either have to be able to create more space off the dribble for your shot or have a much faster release. Ideally, you have both in your arsenal.
Nothing going here on that drive. Irving to Horford. With the fadeaway, burns him for the basket.
The reality is no one can guard a player at his level one-on-one. The help defense needs to be shown, and he needs to see a series of obstacles instead of just one individual.
That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
From the outside, no good. And now Houston has the basketball. To Harden. Looking for his man. Clint Capella. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
Threes and layups. That's what the Rockets do. They're not a team that settles for mid-range shots. And that's a good job of getting to the rim and racking it.
To the rim, lays it up and in. Jay, you've known Kyrie Irving since he was a young man growing up in New Jersey. He's overcome a lot of obstacles, chief among them staying healthy and on the floor.
Yeah, Ed, he's been battling injuries since his freshman year of college, but the beautiful thing about Kyrie Irving is that he always loves the big stage. Making the game-winning shot in Game 7, he will continue to do so when he surrounds himself with great, inspiring leaders with the likes of such Kobe Bryant.
Kyrie Irving. 3 for 3. That's a perfect start. Houston with the basketball. To Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. Throws it up. Throws it down off the alley-oop pass. Jay, they make it look so easy.
Yeah, but it's really not that easy. And as a passer, if your pass is just a fraction too early or a fraction too late, that throws the whole play off. The timing of this has to be impeccable.
Changes coming from both sides right now. Irving to Hayward. Irving to Hayward. Boston with 4 to shoot to Irving. Fires the 3. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Nice finish at the rim.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
The ball in the hands of Kyrie Irving to Hayward. Sizing up the defense. Hayward knocks it down. That was a tough shot.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Harden in possession. They lead it. 4-point game. Nothing going here on that drive. To Paul. Harden to P.J. Tucker. 4-3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense too, then a wide open 3.
Screen coming. Hayward to Horford. Oh, he had it.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Harden. And he hits.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
Kyrie Irving controlling the offense. To Hayward. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Kyrie Irving trying to cash in on a 3-point play. A career 87% from the line. Free throw up and good as he finishes off the 3-point play. The lead is down to 6. Harden, their lead. Beyond the arc for 3. That misses with 3 seconds left. 1 quarter down in this deciding Game 7. And we're back after this. You're tuned into the NBA Finals on EA Sports. One quarter in the books, and Jay, naturally, both coaches wanted to get more stops. But boy, was that fun to watch.
Both teams are on fire, but speaking of competitive juices, one of the beautiful things that we heard during the timeout, in a team huddle, you heard multiple voices that weren't the coach saying how much more they needed to fight in order to win this game. Oh, trust me, the intensity level is going to pick up a couple of notches.
Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
Leadership's greatest values occur in between the lines and not necessarily in the box score. And that's the type of leader that Al Horford is. He's the first all-star free agent to choose Boston in decades. And let me tell you this, the legacy of greatness runs deep in the family. His father, Tito Horford, was the first Dominican basketball player to ever play in the league, which goes to show you why Al has such a great feel for the game.
James Harden, terrific shooting. He's
to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Hayward to Jaylen Brown. lets it fly from beyond the arc. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for 3.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
James Harden fires for 2, unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
Look, the Rockets don't take too many mid-range jumpers. Actually, last season, they led the league in three-point attempts. Glad to see them actually find a two-point shot relevant these days.
There it is, Al Horford. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
He's been doing this for years, the physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
He was all over him. Missed the shot, no free throws.
And you see so many players quit on the play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Now Paul with the basketball. His team up by 1. To Harden. To Paul. Here comes the screen. On the step back.
Man, he's got the defender out there tap dancing like that on national TV. That's not a good sign.
Now the Celtics going to use a timeout as they'll discuss matters in what's now a 3-point game. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Now a steal as the Rockets have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Paul to Harden. Here comes the screen. Knocked loose. Oh, the whistle. Okay, take your hands off of me.
Timing was just a tad bit off.
Hey, clear out. I got this.
Paul to Capella. Oh, ferocious slam inside.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Paul to Harden. It's the Celtics with the rebound. Brown into the front court. 5-point game. To Rozier. From long range. Defense all over Rozier. Can't connect. Paul across the timeline. Leads 5. To Harden. They work it to Capella. Down low. Throws it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created in this game.
Paul to Capella. Harden to Paul. Oh, he had him there for a second. The pass set it all up.
I see this happen all the time. It used to happen to me.
Sometimes an easy offense allows more effort to translate to the defensive end.
Brad Stevens will change up his lineup. Irving. To Horford. The Celtics down to 4 in the shot clock. Has a look. Wide open look, won't go.
Oh, I like that. You got the defense rotating from side to side. They're even recovering late, but still, you got to make that one.
Harden to P.J. Tucker. Runner here, won't go down. To Irving. Here comes the screen. To Irving. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Tatum. He engulfed him that time. For 3. And Chris Paul, veteran move. Well defended, still buries the 3. They'll let one fly from half court. We are at halftime in Game 7. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to Jalen Rose and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Rockets entered. The guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. These are the guys getting buckets for the Houston Rockets. The Celtics are in need of some changes at the half. They've got the break to figure some things out. And trust me, they've got a few things to figure out. Still, it's not like they're totally out of this game. Have a look at the leading scores for the Boston Celtics.
Game track. Assists.
The Houston Rockets are a team that's playing unselfish basketball and reaping the benefits. Great chemistry from these guys in the opening half, and it bodes well for them moving forward. James Harden showing off some great passing skills in the first 2 quarters.
Player of the half.
James Harden has already put together a pretty nice highlight reel for himself, and that's just after 1 half of basketball. He did a lot of scoring, and it probably won't stop anytime soon.
Who was cold?
Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. We go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Here's Irving into the front court. His guys trail by 10. To Hayward. Nothing going here on that drive. Irving to Hayward. Here comes the screen. Trying to cash in. Court Hayward. That's how it's done. Very efficient and making an impact. He's 3 for 3.
All right, you got the first bucket of the second half. Now get a stop, because honestly, that's where your troubles were in the first.
Here comes the screen. Harden to Capella. Off the assist.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
Irving. Second violation. Harden to Paul. Jason Tatum with a piece.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Kyrie Irving at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw good to cap off the 3-point play. That cuts it to a 7-point game. Harden into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Capella to Paul. They get it down to Harden. Shot from the lane won't go. Hayward to Horford. Clint Capella snatching it out of the air.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Paul going to launch beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And the three-point shot of the offense applies so much pressure on the defense, you can no longer build your teams inside out. The new way, you build your team outside in.
Hayward goes to the right side. Almost, but no good.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jump.
Harden. That's good D. Shot no good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
To Irving. Boston with 4 to shoot. Shot clock violation. New blood coming in for both sides. Paul. Yes, give the advantage to the shooter.
Well, that change is usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. To P.J. Tucker. Paul. No good.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Into the front court, it's Irving. The deficit now up to 13. Here comes the screen. Kyrie Irving lines it up for two, knocks it down from mid-range.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Paul with it up top. He'll run the offense. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul. To Rivers. Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Paul into the front court. The lead is 11. To Rivers. Now that's a contest.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Nothing going here on that drive. And count the basket.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
Paul, down to Fareed. Perfect feed to set up the basket. Timeout Boston, as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Kyrie gets a look, can't hit. To Gerald Green. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Finishing inside the paint on that one. From 18 feet at the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the way. It's been all Rockets. It's the Rockets in control of the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. They have clearly been the better side so far. Jay, that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Fourth quarter, it's 0-0. You have to play the game with the scoreboard saying 0-0. And if you can win that game by double digits, then you've done your job in the fourth.
And hits the first free throw. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Rozier into the front court. His guys trail by 13. From the painted area, won't go down.
One of the best kept secrets in the game. Utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air. Crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
Knocked loose. Rockets come up with it.
You got to go for the score here right now in this possession.
Tucker to Paul. Sacrificing everything for the loose ball. And he stepped out of bounds. Turns the ball over. Gerald Green. Oh, bad pass, and the Celtics have it. Knocked loose. Paul to P.J. Tucker. Down to Fareed. You've got to get that one to go. Rozier with it. His guys currently down by 13. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
The okey doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. To Gerald Green. Probing the defense. Gerald Green to Fareed. Cleans it up. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. To Rozier. Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
We get a whistle and a timeout for Houston as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter.
Well, first off, energy and persistence conquer all things. But look at the way they're setting screens. Look at the way they're communicating to each other. They're actually hitting people on those screens, and they're coming off those screens with their hands in a target area, ready to shoot. Kind of energy, you see why they're in the lead.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Paul to P.J. Tucker. Harden. Here's a chance from long range. Cleans it up. Offensive board. Fires the three, and he knocks it down.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough two rather than an easy three.
It's in the hands of Harden. Taking advantage of the turnover.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout. And the defense keeps sticking to those flare screens. Just don't flare out to the three-point line. Flare to the rim for a lob.
Ooh, crisp ball. Now 4 for 9.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
To Marcus Morris. Terrific vision. Irving. Wide open look, won't go. Paul into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. To Harden. Here's CP3. He connects, had all the time in the world. Too easy. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Not that time.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you're forcing to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket. You're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Paul. That one out of bounds off a rocket. It'll stay Celtic basketball. Irving to Marcus Morris. Oh, bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
I tried to work the clock here, but you have to take care of the ball in this possession.
Pass taken away by the Celtics.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. Is called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively. You try to deny communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Irving brings the ball up court to Marcus Morris. Probing the defense. A pass taken away by the Rockets.
Let's just let the clock run out. We got to get out of here. I got a dinner to go to.
Paul to Harden. 5 on the shot clock. James Harden trying to cash in. The jumper's off the mark.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you're forcing to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket. You're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
It's the Rockets who are victorious. Capping off a dream season, they've captured their first NBA title since 1995. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets must be feeling a million different things right now, all of them great. They've done it, NBA champions. Only a select few get a chance to experience the view from the mountaintop, and they absolutely deserve it. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Houston Rockets. Celtics
won't get to lift the Larry O'Brien trophy. It was one of the best seasons in the franchise history, but without a championship, it's likely to be forgotten.
What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Boston Celtics.
Game track. Assists.
The Houston Rockets played fantastic team basketball today. Ball movement is clearly what separated these two squads.
Player of the game.
Chris Paul gets rewarded for the way he provided his teammates with plenty of easy baskets. His assist total is certainly indicative of his clever playmaking.
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show.
Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for another NBA season. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, thanks for making us your choice for hoops action.